What's up, everybody? So we're back. We're had vacation time with the family for a week. We went to Tennessee. We did some fun stuff. We did mountain coasters and aquariums. We went hiking in the woods. We did pirate shows, which is awesome, by the way. We did the lumberjack feud, which was pretty cool. My 3-year-old fell in love with Daisy Dawson, so that's all I've heard for a week. Did a lot of eating. So we're back on guitar mode. What I've done so far is tonight I just came out here getting this guy ready, and I just lightly sanded it to kind of smooth some of this out to make it a little smoother. And I went ahead and taped the edges, that way if I get any dye around the edge, hopefully it won't seep too far down into the binding. So that's what we did so far, and if you want to know how to do that, just go back and watch some of the other videos. I'll show you how to tape that off and hit with the sandpaper and make that flush. So anyway, so this is what we got. I'm gonna put a picture probably right there of what we're gonna be going for. So what I wanted to do initially was I wanted to do a burst, so a purple all the way around with the yellow burst in the middle. I don't think I'm that talented. I watched a lot of Big D videos. If you hadn't watched him any, check him out. He is like the master of the Angelus dye and dyeing guitars. So what I'm going to go for now is a purple and yellow fade. So after his Lakers fade, so it's kind of what I'm going to go for, something similar to that, but not like he did with a cross against the guitar. What I want to do is get all this to purple and have it coming down right here. Same thing on this side, and then just like fade it in just a little bit. So it's not going to be faded all the way across. It's just going to be a little fade up in here and down in here, and all this will be yellow. So I won't have to worry about fading any of this down here. And I'm fading, blending. So we won't have to worry about blending. All we got to really worry about is I'm going to try and even be tricky enough to where I maybe try to stop the purple here, and then that way I don't have to really blend right here either. So I don't know. I've watched enough videos now to where I'm just like, you know what? It's time to either poop or get off the pot, as they say. Let's see. I hope it doesn't turn out like looking like poop. So I'm gonna get some t-shirts and rip some up, get some cotton, make some little sponges there so we can do some dyeing. So anyway, I think it's time to just put up or shut up. So let's try it. Okie dokie. So we got the yellow dye and the purple dye. So I think I'm gonna do yellow first, since it's a lighter color. And don't forget, wear your gloves, because this stuff will stain the crap out of your hands. All right, who else is nervous? I am super nervous, just like always. Just double these cloths up here, make a little, like that. And he just puts a little dab on there, so I'm gonna do that. All right, woo, okay. Let's just start putting it on there. Hopefully we won't have a lot of glue. I did the naphtha on there, and doesn't look like there's a bunch of glue. So we'll see. Putting it on here. So all this is gonna be yellow. And I found out, of course, that we know what yellow and purple make. Brown. Looks like it's got going on nice and even though. So I'm actually going to have to look at my phone and check out the picture. So hang tight. I don't know, this needs to be faded in a little more. It's just still a little harsh. Anyway, I'm gonna go off camera. Might play with it a little bit. It was filled for 28 minutes, so hang tight. All right, so it's the next night. I stayed up the other night till like a little after midnight working on this guitar. Look in the background. So we got some storms rolling in. Tomorrow's Wednesday, and I got these big old freaking trees in my shop. These are Chinese fringe trees, so they're gonna go in our front for the landscaping. So yeah, we didn't want them to keep blowing over, so we just pulled them in here, and it's a big mess. We got a bunch of stuff going on. Plants get everywhere. We had to batten down the hatches, so it's supposed to be tornadoes, all kinds of stuff. Just pray that we're safe. Anyway, so here's what the guitar looks like. It's a hot mess. All right, so this is where we were last night. Kind of finished up and all this was still purple. Well, when I went back and looked at some of the other fades that I saw, and it looks like they kind of stop about right here. So that's where they kind of fade out. So I just think I went down too far. I mean, I could try to do this down here into a full burst, but what I think I'm gonna do, I don't know, this is still deep in the green, so I don't know what that yellow is gonna look like. It's not wanting to sand all the way out. And if I sand through the veneer, I'm just gonna have to paint. I'm just gonna have to probably paint the whole thing a solid color or whatever. So anyway, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna work on sanding all this out. I'm not gonna sit here and video all that because it's super boring. I don't really like this dark. Some of that dark, I guess, is from either the pores of the natural wood or it got some purple in there. I don't know. I don't like this spot right here. It's kind of funky. So I'm gonna try and work on that and work on sanding all this back and get all this back as close to white as I can. And we'll see how the yellow looks. So anyway, stay with me. Alrighty, back in action. So I sanded back as much of the purple as I can. So I think what's gonna happen is it's gonna give it a deep grain effect when I yellow over this. So it's just gonna have to probably live there. In hindsight, since this was here, I probably should have purpled the whole thing and done this again and then went over it. But it might help to kind of give it a crazy looking fade. I don't know. So anyway, I kind of sanded this back a little bit and I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna go back on the internet, see what I can mix my Angelus dye with. I think it's either denatured alcohol or ice purple. I gotta check it out. I don't have any of the neutral Angelus cleared to dilute it down, so I'm just gonna work with what I got. So anyway, now I'm gonna look at my pictures again, and I'm gonna come down like this and probably just end right here, just a little strip. And that's my plan with the purple. It's just this little bit purple, then mainly all this is gonna be yellow. So that way, this is the only little thing that's gotta be really blended in is right here. So anyway, so that's what I'm about to work on. And I'm not gonna film all that. Well, I might, I don't know, we'll see. But stay tuned. This is kind of a stressful situation here. So you can see it's got some darker spots in it. I sanded that, but it's not coming out. So I guess what I'm gonna have to do is just let it chill like that. And when I hit the yellow again, it should all even out, so I hope. So anyway, so that's where we're at as of right now. All right, so here's a little peek of where I'm at. This is where I'm kind of thinking it's gonna look like. So that's what I wanted. I wanted a lot more yellow on the bottom and just a little purple on the top. So that purple's not so intrusive and just, yeah. So it kind of gave it a little effect, like a little speckly effect underneath the yellow. So I kind of hit with some yellow and got it good. So what I'm gonna try and do is blend, just make it a little more, it's kind of a line, I feel. So I'm gonna try and make it a little more blended. So that's what I'm about to work on in just a minute. Like I said, I'm not gonna video this because y'all definitely don't wanna learn how to do this from me. If you wanna learn how to do something like this, you need to go watch Big D videos. Because this is not my thing. All right, I think this is it. I have buffed, I have sanded, I have steel wooled, everything. Let's show you what I got. I think that, other than maybe touching up some of the purple, I think that's about as good as I'm gonna get it. Trying to get the fade. Like, it's hard to catch it on camera, but I mean, it does fade. It still looks a little harsh on camera, but I think I like that much better. So all that other purple kind of just filled those grains. I couldn't get it out, but it just kind of goes and just does its thing. It just kind of, I won't say it blends in, but it doesn't look bad. So you can also see some of the natural grain, but look at I mean, it's got some nice figuring on it. That looks good. I really like that. I mean, it's got some character. I kind of digging it now. Don't really have a choice. But yeah, I think I need to darken this up just a bit. I'm gonna hit it with some steel wool and darken it, but I'm not gonna do anything tonight. I think I'm gonna leave it alone. But trying to get some more angles of it. I just wish that this didn't look like just purple yellow. Like, it's not purple and yellow. I mean, you can clearly see the lines. I mean, the lines are pretty tight. Now, I guess I could blur them a bit more. But once again, you know, you gotta think, once you get your saddles and bridge and your knobs and all your pickups and stuff and all that, it's gonna really detract from any kind of imperfections. This, I don't know what this was. It just couldn't come out, so I just left it alone. It's just a dark spot. So even though it's a dang focal point right in the middle of the guitar, it just is what it is. See that figuring? In hindsight, what I probably should have done was just the whole thing purple and then sand it all back. That way it has the same kind of a purplish going all the way through it. So get it in a darker spot and see what it looks like. Not bad. That stinger, son. I think that's as good as I can do. And all this on the back is going to be that natural butterscotch color leading up to the stinger. All that's butterscotch. I like that much better. The purple's just not nearly as intrusive. I might work on that just a little bit more. I don't know. I think it's pretty freaking symmetrical. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. But once I hope when I use this spray to seal it, it doesn't change the color too much. Because, I mean, I like the color. It's really dark royal purple. What is that? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, that's symmetrical. Unless you just sit there and stare at it. I mean, I'm sure it's a little off, but man, I think that's as good as she's gonna get. Once you get it clear coated, man, and I get this grain, it gets all that grain and figuring to pop that flows flames, I think it's gonna really set it off. So that's about all the angles I can get. So I'm gonna take some pictures of it. And oh, look at this. Dropped it, son. You know what that is? It's Angelus dye. Man, I got that on my shoes. Got it on everything. So what I did was I ended up mixing the purple with this. I went half and half, so I went like 1 teaspoon and 1 teaspoon. And that's what I ended up going back with to play with it. And then to go back over to kind of blend in all the yellow and to make that flames pop, I did 1 teaspoon to 1 teaspoon of yellow. And I did that yellow and I just went back over it, and it kind of made it kind of pop off. So we're going to let it sit here and dry tonight. And I guess I'll make a video, see what y'all think about it. If you like it, great. And we'll proceed with this. But I'm digging it. I'm digging it more than I did last night because it had all that purple coming way down here, and it was just kind of fugly. But now it's a lot less purple. So anyway, all right, there we go.